It is 10.6. I'm going to go over the pages for today. If you would like to complete them with me, you can pause me as I go. Otherwise, you can use it as a quick overview and complete them after I explain them all. So this is usually the problem-solving lesson at the end of the chapter that can be most confusing. But we do story problems all the time, and I want you to think about how we solve the story problem, circling important information, making sure we understand the question, and we're going to unlock this problem by doing those exact things. So I'm going to let it read to you today.
Maria recorded the rainfall in her town for 4 months. How did the amount of rainfall change from September to December?
All right, so Maria recorded how much rain had fell in her town. Reading it twice is always very helpful. For 4 months she did this, and the question that you're going to want to underline is right here. How did the amount of rainfall change from September to December? And in order to see that better, we're going to create a bar graph to do that. Here's all of your data, how many inches fell in the months that she was recording. What do you need to find out? Well, the question was, how did the amount of rainfall change? So you need to find out how the amount of rainfall changed from September to December, and you can just go ahead and trace that. Then what information do you need to use? The information or the data is right up here, the amounts of rainfall. Okay, something a couple people forgot last week is do not forget to label and title your bar graphs. So the amount in inches is these numbers over here, and then the months are down here. So then I'm thinking to myself, what is it that we're trying to do, or what is this graph telling us? So you could go ahead and just call it rainfall from September to December, or you could say amounts of rain, anything like that that has to do with what is this data all about. Make sure you fill in those blue lines, and then here's the question that we're gonna, not the question, the answer.
The amount of rainfall, blank.
What you're gonna notice after you fill in your bar graph is either the rain's going to increase, get to be larger, or you're gonna notice that it decreases, which is gonna get smaller. So you're trying to see that trend or that pattern in the rainfall after the bar graph is done, and it will be really easy to see once you fill out your bar graph. And go ahead and turn to the next page. Here's another bar graph. Same kind of thing. This is about Matthew. You're going to make this bar graph in order to solve the problem.
1. Matthew measured the height of his plant once a week for 4 weeks. Describe how the height of the plant changed from May 1st to May 22nd.
All right, friends, so first thing I want to think about is what do I need to put on the labels of my bar graph? They've already got numbers up the side, and the dates are along here. So what I'm thinking about is what are these numbers for? Well, these are the inches, okay? The inches that the plant has grown. So you can simply put amount of inches. I'm even good with you just putting inches right there. I think the best title would be thinking about who is measuring and what is he measuring. You could make this Matthew's plant or height of plant because that's what all this information is. Along the bottom, you're going to look at May 1st, May 8th, May 15th, and May 22nd. What are all of these things? These are dates, so just writing the dates down here would be a great label. And again, you're going to see, is the plant increasing in height or is the plant decreasing in height? And that's going to be your answer here. The height of the plant is, and you're going to decide whether it's increasing, getting larger, or decreasing, getting smaller after you take a look and observe that bar graph. The thing about graphs is it sometimes makes, all the times makes information a little bit easier to understand when you can see it in a graph instead of just written in a paragraph. Here's the next one. This is page 491. Same kind of thing. You're going to make a bar graph to solve the problem. I'm going to go ahead and let it read to you, and then I suggest you read it on your own again.
2. Bianca wrote the number of hours that she practiced playing guitar in June. Describe how the amount of practice time changed from week 1 to week 4.
All right, so the bar graph has started for you. Numbers along here, week 1, 2, 3, and 4 along the bottom. So I want you to think again who this is about by reading it again. It's about Bianca, and what is she trying to figure out? Playing the guitar in June. So this is all about Bianca's guitar playing time, okay? So practicing guitar or Bianca's guitar practice, any of those kinds of ideas would be great for the title. And the label over here, you're going to have to probably turn your paper sideways to write it. All these numbers represent the hours she practiced. So for week 1, she practiced 1 hour. You're going to go down to week 1 and shade in or color 1 hour. Week 2, she practiced for 2 hours. You're going to go down to week 2 and color 1, 2 of the bars. And you're going to continue with week 3 and week 4. But real quickly, the label here along the bottom is all week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So you could just put weeks in June or just weeks is fine. And here's where you're going to answer the question, how did it change over time? The amount of practice time either increased in June or decreased in June. And here, this is a question that's adding to the bar graph. If Bianca's practice time is 4 hours in week 5, how does her practice time change from week 1 to week 5? So they want you to use your imagination, and you can even draw right here an extra little column. And in week 5, if it's 4 hours, color that in, and then see how it changes. And finish up that page 491. Lastly, this says how many strings are 9 inches long. This is a line plot. Not much line plots have been in this chapter, so I wanted to explain it to you. So the numbers are along here, and each of the X's above is how many. So how many strings are 9 inches long? You go over to the 9, and then you count how many X's. 1, 2, 3. The lengths of the strings in inches right here. Okay, so all 9-inch strings that they have is 1, 2, and 3. The answer would be 3. I wanted to give you that one because I thought this was a little tricky. We haven't done that line plot graph. How many strings are more than 6 inches? Not 6 inches, but the hot problem is more than 6 inches. So it's either going to be 7, 8, or 9. You're going to want to join that information together. And for number 6, the test prep, this is very similar to what is going to be on your test coming up. You're going to use this bar graph. How did the amount of snowfall change from week 1 to week 4? Okay, give yourself a minute to look at the title. What is this all about? Okay, it's inches on this side, the weeks as they pass here. So it looks like week 1, there was 1 inch of snow. Week 2, there's 2 inches of snow. Week 3, there's 3 inches of snow. And week 4, all the way up to 4 inches. So I can tell that the amount of snow is increasing from week 1 to week 4. And you need to figure out which one of these choices matches that. Okay? What is the bar graph representing? So I hope this is easily understood. Please feel free, watch the whole thing, do it on your own, or go one by one with me. Any questions you have, I love when you have questions. You have a great growth mindset. Please don't hesitate to message me any questions. And odds are, if you have a question, other people do as well. So you can even comment down below the video. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Love you guys. Miss ya. Bye.